Ministering Angels by Lori A. Thompson. Chapter 1. Preparation Fire. Nighttime falls over the island. The fire is blazing. Joe advises Brad, the leader of the island, when the others can get access to the fire area. Joe directs the Hunter clan and assumes responsibility for the preparation fire. It has taken a full day to gather and prepare a sufficient amount of wood. Joe's fires take on a life of their own. He doesn't manage his fires. The fires manage him. The challenge is to build a lively, intense fire. He believes the fire is the source of a fruitful hunt. The others gather, sing, chant, and dance around the preparation fire. Joe knows the fire is capable of creating a successful hunt or slaughtering it. He thinks it chooses to get large or small. He thinks the fire chooses to stay contained. The life force of the fire beats deep inside him, greater than the leather-skinned drums. The cave is the center of a fully treed mountain island, with a fire pit placed in the middle of the cave. Standing in the fire pit, the panoramic view discloses bedroom entrances that reach 150 feet high into the air. The boys enter their rooms by vine pulleys attached to the ceiling of the cave. Vines are attached from tree to tree for access around the more difficult parts of the island. The vines also guide the boys through the entrances of the cave. The vines enable the boys to drop off on a short rock slide, delivering them into the huge main living area. There are only two other entrances. One centered just above the pit, opened and closed only upon Brad's direction. The other entrance in Brad's bedroom is for his own personal use. 6 of the boys make up the hunting force. They collaborate to bring meat to all the boys of the island. Hunting has been difficult during the last couple seasons. The group knows that the season is changing. Meat has become scarcer. Joe remains determined and focused. He consults intuitive boy, Nathan, every day. Nathan is the youngest of the group. Most of the boys go to Nathan to get a sense of situations. The hunters rely on Nathan to communicate knowledge of abundance. Nathan is the last to join the group assembled by the fire. He looks around the gathering to find someone who will play the stick game. Joe is standing, staring in a trance at the fire. Brad is standing with a group of boys sitting circling his feet. Brad is telling a story about one of his hunts. He explains how he made his own spear with a long stick, arrowhead, and a vine. He laughs about his attempts to spear fish. He explains how the arrowhead kept falling off and how the waves of water would tip his balance. It made it very difficult to keep his head clear. Brad has a strong, tall stature, a skilled provider for the group. It is funny for the boys to imagine his clumsy attempts. Nathan sees a group around the rock game. Some are sitting, some are standing around viewing the competition. Nathan is too young to play the rock game with such a large group. The boys get rowdy and aggressive, which scares Nathan away. Nathan's attention is directed behind him by a tune which is carried over and above the chatter and calls echoing off the cave walls. He spins around and a smile covers his face. It's Carl. Carl is one of the oldest in the group. He isn't as tall as Brad and has a rounder belly. Carl often lets his beard grow out before the change of seasons. He's very strong and boisterous. He's holding 2 handfuls of long strips of hog jerky. His head rolls back in laughter as he tries to sing. Carl shares with the boys his pouch full of goodies, which is flipped over his shoulder around on his back. Carl treats the boys with candies and dried fruit he has gathered throughout the season. Brad whistles and calls out in a rhythmic tone. All becomes instantly silent. Every boy convenes around the fire. Joe breaks his trance and fixes his eyes on Brad. Brad begins to speak in a loud, calm, deliberate voice. We've come here tonight to listen to Nathan. We have all looked to him over the seasons for comforting insight. He's helped us prepare for hunts, water, and fruit gatherings. He's even helped me with my rock strategy a time or two. We need him now more than ever. I want to cheat Mother Nature. We face another season change, and once again, time is our enemy. Nathan is our weapon. Brad points to Nathan with a commanding gesture. Nathan respects his cue, which is not unfamiliar or new. He walks over to the wall, and a tingling, powerful force fills his body. He grabs a stick from the fire and begins to write on the wall. His eyes are pierced and focused with a drawing hand that seems to have a force of its own. The coal on the end of the smoking stick formulates a picture on the wall. Nathan forms a mountain with a sun placed just over the horizon. A waterfall is rushing on the right-hand side. 3 stick boys placed at the base of the mountain complete the scene. Joe leans in close to see the day unfold before his eyes. The boys surrounding Nathan are quiet. There are pockets of boys carrying on conversations. A few of the boys are unable to focus. Some want to return to their games, while others sustain their attention by the pure entertainment of it all. Nathan draws a circle under the stick boy's feet, which always represents blood. Joe tips his head back, hollers, then yelps. All the boys stand and join in. The drums begin to beat and the celebration begins. Nathan drops the stick to the ground, and as the light leaves his body, he looks up at the drawing. He smiles and says, "Thank you." He understands his responsibility and has great respect for the light and his ability to receive it. Many preparation fires have taken place with no sign of a good kill. Nathan's deep yearning has envisioning himself as part of the hunt. Nathan jolts from his trance by Joe and Brad as they lift him up and carry him on their shoulders, parading him about through the crowd of boys. Joshua and Andrew come crawling through and around the boys' feet. Joshua and Andrew are the water boys. Individually, Joshua is an achiever, responsible, and goal-oriented. Andrew is the instigator. He has red hair, pale skin with freckles. He is small for his age. Joshua thinks Andrew is hilarious and creative. When they are together, it is all fun and games. Joshua is always willing to participate when it comes to any of Andrew's master plans. Joshua has a 6-foot-tall, well-defined, strong, wiry body. He has longer brown hair, brown eyes, and every warm season, Joshua gets a very dark, even tan. Joshua loves the sun and water. His job doesn't feel like a job at all. Water season comes and goes very quickly for him. He collects items from the water and shore. He has, on occasion, collected animals for Aiden. Joshua appears at Joe's feet, reaches up, and hands Nathan a spear. Right behind him is Andrew with a shell necklace. Joe laughs and sets Nathan down. Joe unties his hunting cape, made from cougar hide and foxtails, and wraps it around Nathan. He has killed enough fox to line the entire edge of the hide. Nathan dances and leaps around to the beat of the drums. The celebration continues on through the night until the fire burns down to a low, dim burn. The boys settle into their rooms after the joy-filled evening. Joe and Brad stand alone before the red-hot coals with a deep sense of hope for the coming day. They look each other, shake hands firmly, and proceed to douse the fire. End of chapter 1.